So, if you don't know, Nintendo recently had a partner showcase Nintendo Direct. They showed off a bunch of third-party stuff, but after watching the Direct, I am fairly confident that I am going to purchase 3 games from the lineup: Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, and the 2 games that I'd like to talk about today: Octopath Traveler 0 and The Adventures of Elliot: The Millennium Tales. Both of these games are HD 2D adventure RPGs developed by Square Enix. Square Enix has been on fire with the HD 2D space lately, with the Octopath games, Bravely Default, Triangle Strategy, Live a Live, and the Dragon Quest remakes all being developed by Square Enix. I'd be very surprised if they didn't keep coming out with more. What was funny is that they said we have 2 more game announcements at the end of the Direct, and it turns out to just be 2 games by Square Enix, which is kind of funny, to be completely honest with you. But these games look so incredibly fun. The HD 2D remake style is so beautiful, and the gameplay of Octopath Traveler was super fun. So hopefully these games are going to be just as fun, if not more fun. But let's discuss these games, because they're extremely interesting and super fun looking. We're going to start with Octopath Traveler 0. Firstly, this is a prequel game, and it's marketed as a story where you start from zero in a tale of restoration and retribution. Essentially, your town is engulfed in red flames when you're about to light some blue flames, and so you can either choose to enter a path of revenge or the path of restoration. I'm pretty hyped for this game. I think the Octopath games are some of the most fun third-party games I've played. I'm currently working through Octopath Traveler, and once I finish it, I'll get to work on beating Octopath Traveler 2. Now, I don't think I need to play Octopath 2 to understand Octopath 0, because it's set on a different continent. So if I run out of time, because those games are huge, I'll just play Octopath 1 and then go back to Octopath 0. I'll probably do a review on both Octopath and Octopath 0 as well. So if you can't already tell, I'm a geek for the Octopath series. It's just such a fun experience to play the games and get to go on an adventure in a beautiful world with beautiful music. Editing John here. In this shot, we see a whole line of characters from Octopath 1 and Octopath 0. So I'm thinking that the stories of these games overlap a bit, or these are the pre-Octopath versions of these characters, or it's a different timeline. Just wanted to point that out because that's really interesting. Now, before we move into the other game, I'd like to really quickly mention that we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you would, hit that subscribe button, it'd greatly help us out. But what about this other game? It's called The Adventures of Elliot: The Millennium Tales. Not gonna lie, kind of weird name now that I think about it. It looks like a standalone game, which is awesome. It looks like it follows Elliot as he travels around the land with Faye the fairy by his side. It's similar to Octopath in that respect, but is different in that you don't battle by entering a battle. It's real time. You just fight the enemies in the field. You've got access to 7 different weapon types, which is pretty sweet. And the real-time battling, where you and the enemy can actually move around in the battle, is an excellent way to take advantage of the Switch 2's processing power. There's also only going to be a Switch 2 version, no Switch version. I say that because they said it releases on Switch 2, and there's a demo on the eShop for the game, and it says it's just for Switch 2. Speaking of the demo, they haven't finished the game yet, which is why it's scheduled for 2026. However, they finished enough that they can make a trailer for it, and that they can release a demo for the game. The coolest part of this is they are going to do a post-play survey where they'll gather information on what people like about the game and what people do not like, so that they can make changes if need be. Nintendo, please take notes. Square Enix is smart. You are not. I have played a bit of the demo, and I can say that it's a fun game. There's definitely a lot missing though. They'll certainly make sure that it's not that way when the final version of the game comes out. I just thought I'd mention the unfinished state of the game because it's definitely not finished, and you shouldn't expect a full version of the game when you start the demo. I could see it coming out in around a year or so. Now, there is the issue of these games being on game keycards, which I really hope they're not, but they're probably going to be, which is really disappointing. Yesterday, I saw that Octopath Traveler 0 on Switch 2 is a game key card, and there's no upgrade path for the Switch 1 version. This could easily be solved by Nintendo releasing more sizes of cartridges, because this game is 5 gigabytes. But that's a whole different story. If you'd like to hear about how Nintendo's game key cards are ruining the game industry, then you want to click on this video right here. But with that, I'm Dastardly John. Hope you keep on being dastardly.